Last video, we traveled the Alaska Highway through British Columbia from Dawson Creek to Laird River Hot Springs.
This week we travel through the Yukon Territory with lots to see along the Alaska Highway, Klondike Highway, and Top of the World Highway, where we cross the most northerly land border port in the USA, Poker Creek, Alaska.
The last stretch of British Columbia is coming to an end. We're eager to get to the Yukon. And here, it's our lucky day, a bear.
Waterfalls are another one of our favorites. Smith River Falls is a stunning waterfall that drops 115 feet.
I think that's the Yukon welcome sign. We joined the thousands of travelers that passed into the Yukon by adding our silver vagabond sticker to the sign.
We're moving on to Watson Lake. Wow, another bear! The Laird River winds its way through this section of the Alaska Highway. Soon we'll be at one of the most unusual stops in Watson Lake, the Signpost Forest.
In 1942, a U.S. soldier was injured during the construction of the Alaska Highway. The injured soldier, Carl Lindley, was tasked with repairing directional signposts in Watson Lake while he was recovering. When he completed the job, the homesick soldier added his own sign with the miles to his hometown, Danville, Illinois. In 1992, Carl and his wife returned to Watson Lake to commemorate the Alaska Highway's 50th anniversary. What they saw was astonishing. Others have added their own signs over the years. Currently, there are over 100,000 signs, and the town adds more posts so visitors may continue to hang their own unique sign in the signpost forest.
We used the clues provided by two of our favorite YouTubers to locate the signs they posted. We also ran into a family of 5 looking for the sign their father hung 13 years ago. Believe it or not, they found it.
We're in Watson Lake at the signpost forest.
And we just hung our silver vagabond sign.
This is how you get to our sign. If you make it to the signpost forest, check it out.
With a few gravel breaks and frost heaves, the road between Watson Lake and Whitehorse is in good condition.
Rancheria Falls is a quick stop with a pleasant boardwalk through the forest to the falls. Naturally, our bear spray was on hand just in case. To our surprise, there were 2 waterfalls, a single cascade, and a 2-tiered punch bowl.
Well, we've seen it all. We are on a remote path going to a waterfall, and clearly bear country. So what do we pass? 2 people, no bear spray, eating sandwiches on the path.
I like stops like that. Let's check out the lake we've been driving alongside for miles.
Teslin Lake is 78 miles long and up to 700 feet deep. Unbelievable.
We're in Whitehorse, and our campsite is just okay.
The SS Klondike was the largest sternwheeler on the Yukon River.
It was built in 1929 and was in service until 1955 and was the last Yukon sternwheeler.
In 1966, she was restored to her original appearance and was designated as a National Historic Site.
Your international orange.
International Orange.
You like that, don't you? Whitehorse is the capital of the Yukon and is known as the gateway to the Yukon. Prospectors used it as a stopover on their way to the Klondike Gold Rush in 1898. We used it as a stopover, but no gold for us.
Emerald Lake gets its vivid blue-green color from sunlight reflecting off the white deposits of marl. Marl is a mixture of clay and calcium carbonate at the bottom of the shallow waters.
The Carcross Desert is actually a collection of northern sand dunes that were formed when glacial lakes dried up. While visiting, someone pointed out mountain goats high up in the slopes. We found them. Joke was on us.
Our drive to Dawson City on the Klondike Highway was pleasant until we hit a 4-mile stretch of muddy construction. Luckily, we were the only ones on the road, so we could drive slowly and utilize both lanes to get around the ruts. We were ready to get to Dawson City after that experience.
Dawson City is in the heart of the world's famous Klondike Gold Rush. It's an eclectic and vibrant northern community on the banks of the Yukon River. The town has several preserved frontier-style buildings and lots of history.
Did anyone here drive in on the Klondike Highway?
Yes.
Yeah? So you notice that there's some, that last 100-kilometer stretch is getting rough. And that is because of the permafrost. You'll notice also that very few streets in town are paved, and the ones that are raised up. They give about a 3-foot buffer layer to try and reduce the melting from the sun hitting the blacktop. Will actually melt the permafrost beneath.
At the height of the Klondike Gold Rush in 1898, Dawson City had a population of more than 30,000 people. However, the city saw a dramatic decline as the most easily accessible mines were exhausted.
Just down the road is Dredge number 4, a wooden-hulled, bucket-line sluice dredge that mined gold from 1913 to 1959. We took a tour with Parks Canada.
And once you've hit bedrock or maxed out at around 50 feet, you lift up the digging ladder, you lift up the spud, the stacker belt, and then cables would have been attached ahead of it, and then you winch ahead 10 feet. And you may have noticed some of the tailing piles have ridges that are about 10 feet apart, and that's one step of the dredge.
Benny, our tour guide, did an excellent job describing placer mining, from early pioneers digging up gold-bearing gravel by hand to the inner workings of this giant gold-digging dredge that forever changed the landscape.
We drove to Midnight Dome for breathtaking views of the Yukon River and Dawson City.
We are going to go over the Yukon River on a ferry, and it is kind of scary. Even the ramp to get on the ferry looks sketchy, and they're trying to smooth it out right now. And we have the RV, so we are a little nervous.
Oh my goodness, it's getting real. It's on its way over here.
I know.
I cannot believe it.
And we're first in line.
Yes, we are. Ready for this?
I don't know.
I am. The George Black Ferry is part of the Yukon Highway Department and has been a free service to travelers since 1967. This ferry provides access to the top of the world highway.
Well, we made it. We didn't wreck. We didn't go in the river. The majority of Top of the World Highway is gravel, with some paved sections. It rides on top of the mountains for over 80 miles. We found this highway to be in fairly good condition, allowing us to enjoy the spectacular views.
What a day. We have crossed the Yukon River on a ferry. We've driven the Top of the World Road, and now we're about to go across the border into Alaska. Once we saw the border to Alaska in the distance, we were not only on the Top of the World Highway, we also felt on top of the world.
Oker Creek, Alaska.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
Just two of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. All set?
All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you so
Yep,
much.
Bye-bye. Yep.
We made it.
You did.
Can you believe it?
I can't.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
I feel almost giddy.
I know.
This is great.
We just drove about 80 miles on top of the World Road, and it was so much fun.
I think it might have even went longer than 80
I don't
miles. I don't
know.
know. It felt like forever, but at the same time, so beautiful.
And 80% of it was gravel, so
Yes.
it was an adventure.
It was great.
And
Colleen did a
this-
great job.
Thank you. And this is so exciting, isn't it?
It really
I
is.
just can't
I know.
Words can't describe.
It
so
is.
We're gonna hang it up now.
All right.